And I really, here is where we need to theorize and understand from, when wars happen and when political crises happen, how do people handle different groups? I think Abiy is not afraid only the current war. I think what Abiy is afraid, in my opinion, and his entourage, is what happens after the war. TDF knows what would happen after the war. I think they would renegotiate the state formulation of Ethiopia with other groups. And that's why in the peace points, there was the element of an inclusive, deliberation throughout the country, and also that everybody should be participant, the big, the powerful, but also groups that are small, like the Walaita, the Hadia, the Pinishangul, what have you. That is a hopeful sign for TDF, Ola, Somali groups that they see at the end of the tunnel. What does Abiy see at the tunnel? At the end of the tunnel, we know that the war will not. At the end of the war, will not really reward him, because war is never reward unless you squash your opposition. And we talked, and both Scale and Duke touched that TDF TPLF is not a force that can be squashed, even if they capture Mekale like last time. This is not going to be the end of the war. As a matter of fact, I was reading a piece where even Chris Kalfam mentioned something about the war in Eritrea in the 1970s, and then he was warning the Derg, please take a different way. You cannot win the war the way it is. These guerrillas, these groups are vested in the protection of their group. He's talking about the EPLF at the time and TPLF. The same situation exists with TPLF now. You cannot really squash, despite all the no more movement, all those fascistic languages that say, get rid of Tigray, get rid of TPLF, what have you. That's pie in the sky. That's children is, singing words. I think the challenge for Abiy, and here is we need to have some power to convince him that he can have a stake in the future. Abiy sees the future something that will not reward him or his group. He has seen history that the Derg was never rewarded. I think Haile Mariam was never rewarded after the revolt of the youth. I think he is not investing in the future. He's investing in the current situation. So anytime there is a prospect for peace, he has to sabotage. And there is the difference. That's what I said last week. There is the difference between, somebody who's negotiating with a pessimism and somebody who's negotiating with optimism. TDF, TPLF is negotiating with optimism about the future. Abiy is not negotiating with optimism in the future. And I think